Potager area this week, coming along nicely. You can see the borage with the blue flowers. A little bit of mildew on that, interestingly enough, but lots of insect activity. And I popped in some wallflowers I had in pots there, filling that space. So it's making for quite nice. Lots to do. Oh, there's that arch I put up, by the way. If you were following me on Twitter at the weekend, you would have seen me tweeting about the arch, right, made out of homegrown grass canes. They're not quite bamboos, miscanthus grass. So I was figuring I'd put in a couple of those. Remember I was saying I was going to tidy this area here, which still has to happen, and put in some, 2 or 3 of those guys into this area. It'd be nice. Sweet pea frames, lots of sweet pea. So let me show you a little bit more. So the compost area has been emptied, which is great. That was all the autumn leaves and grass mixed together, and then nicely broken down over 6 months, so that's all been transferred out. And that's some of the debris that I separated out of it. Some plant labels and bits of plastic, but there's other stuff there too that hadn't broken down, so that'll be disposed of, because it's just not composting in the quick mix that I'm doing there, But now that this bay is free, I can get going again with more composting, because I have lots to go in here. There's grass mowings to go in, and there'll be more with this area mowed. And there's more for the compost heap, some rhubarb leaves, more grass, old spent compost will be thrown in. And in this particular bag I have some leaves that I've been composting since the winter time. They're quite leaf mouldy anyway. You can see the beech leaves are slower to break down. But that'll all be thrown into a nice mix. I'm trying to get a nice carb grass mix, get that cooking nicely. And this is the area that I emptied the compost into. It's for the onions. So spreading it down. Not quite finished, because there is some of the soil that I had scooped off the top and sort of stacked. Well, stacked is a very fancy way of saying it. I had it piled here, so that, again, that'll be transported away and covered over, and then that leaf mould and compost will be raked over down to the end, which will leave this a nice big bed. I suppose it is the equivalent of a no dig bed, isn't it? Because I didn't dig down into the soil. The water table is quite high here, so I didn't dig down. I'm just laying this lovely rich layer of compost on top, and the onions that are sprouting are going in there. And there's my early salad bed, by the way. Quite happy with it. I'm going to start picking some leaves off it. Spinach, beetroot, some lettuce, and then some legumes or peas there, and the rocket in a pot. So as we start eating salads, I can do my salad leaf mix. Happy days. And there's some of my onion sets. Hardening them off now at this point. I was going to plant them this weekend, but with the cold weather that's due, I hold off. And there's some of the onions from seed. So I'm quite happy with those to get them to this stage. They do need to be planted out. And we'll have an onion feast by the time the summer comes along. Oh, planted my parsnips. There's a few I didn't plant. And there's the garlic. It's looking quite well. It's come along very nicely. Grape in the background. It's not just gorgeous. The apple tree in flower. And lots going on in the glasshouse. Well, there's the early tomatoes, by the way. They're fine size. And there's flower buds there too. Which is great. But anyway, most of the plants are in 3-inch pots. Or they're seedlings. And of course I'm sowing more seeds. I have this tray, this is my compost tray. So I'm just about to pot up the sweet corn that I've chitted into some 3-inch pots. This is some more tomato plants. Bit of a cold spell due this week, so little heater is there in the glass house. I'll get them through that. And yeah, happy days. Oh, yeah, look. We were up with dahlias and slugs a few weeks ago. There you go. Dahlia plants, they have survived. Gloria Gaynor and all that, I will survive. Some of them. And some of them haven't. It's the way of it. Here's some geraniums. I bought them as smaller seedlings and I brought them on. So yeah, put them on too.